So now let's look at a question or set of questions where in this case we need to find the equation of a line or different lines and given given certain information. All right, so as an example, let's start with the first one. We want to come up with an equation of this line that passes through the point 1, 4 and 4 minus 2. So I did put a graph in there for you, but you don't have to have the graph, but graph is always useful. All right, if you can quickly sketch that graph, great. So the graph of this scenario is right here. You notice that there's a line, we got 2 points, and the points are very straightforward. One is 1, 4, and the other one is 4 minus 2. And you notice that based on this information, and if you've done the graph accurately, you can now remember to find the equation of a line, you can come up with the slope-intercept form, or you could write it in a general form or a standard form, whichever, doesn't matter. If you get it to the slope-intercept form, that's fantastic, but be aware that you can go back and forth, switch back and forth between the two, and that's just a little bit of manipulation of the equation. All right, what do we need to come up with the equation of a line? We need a slope, so we need m, and we need y-intercept b. Those are the two things we need to come up with the equation of the line in a slope-intercept form. All right, so the slope, you could actually use the graph to come up with the slope. I'm going to show you two different ways. Number one is using the graph. So graphically, this is what you do. You go from the either top point or the bottom point, doesn't matter which one, but you got to use rise over run. So if I'm going to use the bottom point, let's look at point B. So first I have to do rise. So I want to go from point B to point A, or point A to point B, doesn't matter, but whichever you have to do, you have to use the rise first. So let's go from left to right. Let's just start with A. So I want to go from A to B, so first I have to drop down, straight down, so that I'm across point B. I'm a little bit farther now than I should be in. And then I go across. All right, so this distance right here, what is that? I'm going from minus 2, so between minus 2 and 4, this is 6 units. And this, from 1 to 4, that's 3 units. So now rise over run. Now remember, you're dropping, you're falling. It's not the rise, it's a fall. So in this case, it will end up being, so negative 6 on top divided by 3 or minus 2. That's your slope. Great. Next thing is the y-intercept. The y-intercept, you look at the graph, and if you've drawn the graph accurately, you notice that the graph passes through right here, positive 6. So you can just read it off of there. So the y-intercept is actually 6. All right, now you can write up the final equation. Y equals minus 2x plus 6. And remember, minus 2 was your slope, and y-intercept was your 6. And that's the equation of that. And we did that purely using the graph. Let's change this slope-intercept form to a general form. So while we're at it, we want to bring everything to one side. We want to have as the form should be ax plus by plus c equals to 0. So I'm going to bring everything to one side. So I'm going to add everything in here in the top equation right here. So everything is going to be moving to the other side. Okay, that's what we're going to be doing. So here it is. So we have, so I'm going to start with the x. So adding 2x, adding 2x, subtract 6, subtract 6. All right, so and then we'll start with x first. So I'm going to write down 2x then y is up here already, so this doesn't change, plus 1y minus 6 equals to 0. You're done. This is the general form. Okay, so bring everything to one side, set it equal to 0.